So, has life ever been a grind? Let's talk about it today. I want to teach you about various ways that you can use the word grind. Now, the word grind can be used when you're talking about a task that is difficult, monotonous, or something that you always do where the desired results may be in the future. Okay, there's no immediate reward. You have to constantly struggle. You have to demonstrate perseverance. And sometimes when you are participating in such a task, it can really test your faith and your endurance. So we describe it as a grind. So you might say, my job requires me to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and I don't get home until 6 p.m. at night. It is a total grind. Or you might say being a student athlete is such a grind. We have study hall, we have film, we have practice, we have study hall. It's just a total grind. And then we have to travel. We have to have meetings. It's such a grind being a student athlete. But there are other ways that you can use grind, and that word has so many different types of various meanings. I want to give you some examples of how you can use the word grind in your daily conversations and as a descriptive word. So you can use grind, as I look at my notes, to describe a routine. You know, your morning grind. I have to get up, I brush my teeth, I take a bath, I pray, I meditate, I review my English. It's such a grind for me in the morning. But then you can use grind to describe a sound. Okay, I hear the squirrel grinding its teeth as it chews the nuts and seeds that I left on the porch. Or you might say, I can hear my car engine grinding. It sounds like I may need some brake work. Or I may need to have a mechanic look at my motor because I'm hearing grinding noises from the front of the car as well as from the rear of the car. Okay, you can describe grind if you are a cook. I want you to grind these two spices together. You may have a grinding stone. Some people make, what do you call the flour tortillas? And so you may have to have a grinding stone to grind the ingredients together to make tacos, okay? You may use grind when it comes to coffee. I have to grind the beans in my coffee maker, and it helps me to make delicious coffee that helps keep me stimulated throughout the day. Now, grind can also be used as a slang term. You have some people that like to ride skateboards, and I'm not sure if grind is used when it comes to surfing, but I do know they use the word grind when it comes to skating, doing certain tricks. You have people that use the word grind when it comes to dancing. Okay, you can grind when you're dancing with someone. I mean, you're doing a lot of pelvic moving and sexual different positions. They call that grinding. I remember when I was a teenager and we would have parties, and you do the forbidden dance. All right. So these are different ways that you can use the word grind. It's a very common term that we use in the English language. So I want you to practice using the word grind. You know, one thing I have learned, there are some people that do not know how to deal with problems and trouble. You know, when life gets really difficult, they don't know how to grind it out. They shy away, they go to a quiet place, they close the blinds, they don't want to talk to anyone, they may start drinking, start smoking weed, doing all they can to keep their mind off of their problems. But you know what? Problems are a part of life. Whether you have money or don't, whether you are an introvert or an extrovert, everyone has problems. That's a part of life. And you just have to learn how to grind it out and just know that things will get better. Things don't always stay the same. Everything on this planet eventually changes. Nothing stays. People change, situations change. They can either get better, they can get worse, but you know what? Life goes on, and you have to learn how to just keep grinding away. You know, sometimes you're on a job you don't like, and you have to learn how to keep grinding until things get better on the job or you get a better job. Sometimes relationships get difficult, but you have to learn how to grind it out through those tough seasons, and you learn to improve yourself instead of trying to improve the other person. You know, in my first few years of marriage, that was something that was challenging for me. I spent a lot of time trying to change my wife when I said, you know what, I can't make grown folk do anything. So I began to try to change myself. And when I began to change, I noticed my wife began to change. But I would not have had that success if I did not learn how to grind it out. And I'm telling you, it can be tedious, it can be difficult, it can be gut-wrenching, as we say, but in the end, it's always worth it. I personally believe that my ending will be better than my beginning, but you have to persevere. You gotta grind it out. Now, let me be the first one to admit that when it comes to being a person that continues to grind no matter what you go through, I will be the first one to confess that I have fallen short in this area. I have not always been the type of person that when I face an obstacle or some type of hardship that I continue to grind it out. Sometimes I've just gotten tired, you know, I've gotten at ease, I've gotten weary in well-doing, and you know, I'll be the first one to say that I've had to do better over the years, and thankfully I have done better. I'm not flawless, but I do have a attitude of stick-to-itiveness to where I'm willing to just grind it out no matter what I go through. And I think that's what's missing in a lot of people. Give up too easy. You know, you hit a wall, you hit, as we say, a pot in the road, and people just pull over and quit. But you got to get out and fix that tire and get back on the road. That's how life is. You got to keep moving forward on this journey because life doesn't stop. You know, life doesn't stop. There are good days, there are bad days, there are challenging days, there are days where you overcome, but you gotta keep grinding it out. And it gets boring, it gets tedious, but the hustle should never stop. And of course, you can apply this not just in life, but when you're learning English, in a relationship, with your money. Don't ever quit. Just keep grinding, keep making it happen. You gotta get the prize, you gotta make it to the end. Things will get better.